Here's your news for June 19th, 2020. And your headlines for today include breaking news: more than 26 wrestlers, including Jim Cornette, have been accused of sexual misconduct. WWE issues statement about allegations. Why Bianca Belair has disappeared from WWE TV. Women's title match announced for WWE Raw. Former women's heavyweight champion drafted to Raw. WWE reviewing Nia Jax after recent incident, and more. We're starting off today by looking at SmackDown, as last week's show kicked off with a segment between Jeff Hardy and Sheamus that not everyone got to see. In case you missed it, the segment included Sheamus demanding Hardy provide a urine sample ahead of their Backlash match, and whilst the charismatic Enigma did just that, the segment ended for most fans with Hardy throwing his sample on the Celtic Warrior. Whilst the segment aired on the East Coast as normal, fans on the West Coast didn't see the finish, as the show cut to a commercial before Hardy tossed the urine, and on Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer explained the change, saying, "Fox decreed that it violated their standards and practices, so they threw a commercial in so we didn't get to see it on the West Coast. That's what that was all about." That wasn't the only issue the segment had, as fans noticed that a very similar segment involving Shawn Michaels and Mr. McMahon took place in 2006. So if WWE wants to toss the P a third time, it'll have to be on Raw and not any Fox show. We've got some uncomfortable news next, as one of the NXT Cruiserweight champions, Jordan Devlin, has been accused of sexual misconduct as part of a widespread movement where women are speaking out on social media. Online, Hannah Francesca spoke about the alleged abuse she received by Devlin, and also spoke about how difficult it is for women in wrestling to come forward about this, saying, "The boys club mentality makes it even harder for victims to speak out. I approached a promotion about being abused by someone on their card and was told, 'One of my boys wouldn't do that.' I didn't talk about what happened to me for a long time after." In a series of since-deleted posts, Francesca spoke about the threat of being sued by someone with WWE money behind them, and also revealed that she was told to reach out to her abuser, as those she told about what happened said it could have just been a misunderstanding, a defense Francesca didn't appreciate. After deleting those tweets, Francesca returned to social media with photographs of bruises and signs of abuse she claims were caused by the Irish superstar. These allegations were part of a widespread movement against sexual harassment and abuse, and WWE's Pete Dunne praised all the women who are coming forward at this time, whilst Big E also shared similar sentiments. As of right now, Devlin is stuck in the UK thanks to the ongoing global situation, but we wonder just how much WWE will use him after these accusations. Replying to a request for a statement by Forbes, WWE kept their official response brief, saying, "We take any allegation of this nature very seriously and are looking into the matter." Since making these allegations, Devlin's accuser has sent her Twitter account to private, though her words have struck a chord for many in the wrestling community. An indie wrestler who goes by the name AKI Evolution has also spoken out on social media, claiming that Jim Cornette and his wife Stacy groomed them early into their career. In a lengthy status, AKI said that Stacy approached them via DM, sending unsolicited lewd photographs, and told the indie wrestler that they were going to have sex without consent. AKI provided evidence of these claims, showing Stacy Cornette contacting them and making some very inappropriate remarks. Saying that what they received was tame compared to what others have received, AKI went on to say that when Jim Cornette was booking OVW, young wrestlers were allegedly forced to perform sexual acts on his wife, often with the controversial booker watching. If someone were to refuse, Stacy would reportedly brag about being able to call the Kentucky Wrestling Commission to give them, quote, targets, and would say that the commissioner was a family friend, and she'd use that to hurt and ruin careers. Describing what happened as extremely common knowledge in the OVW alumni, AKI said that if this was a man harassing a woman in this way, then people wouldn't be saying they don't see anything wrong with it, and at this time, Jim Cornette hasn't publicly commented on these allegations. NXT UK superstar Joe Coffey has also been accused, as Ciara Loxton has accused him of harassment for not leaving her alone, and claimed that he has sexually harassed 3 girls, including sending unsolicited nude images, voice notes, and stalking women. The recently retired Loxton went on to say that she blocked the NXT UK superstar on social media, and at this time, Coffey hasn't responded to any of these allegations. Loxton went on to speak about Jack Sexsmith, accusing him of inappropriately grabbing her at a house party, but she felt unable to escape because she didn't want to risk driving. NWA Vice President Dave Lagana has also faced accusations, as indie wrestler and writer Liz Savage said that he sexually assaulted her after years of being friends. After Lagana asked her to move to Los Angeles for years, Savage eventually did just that, and whilst nothing romantic ever happened between the two, they had to share a bed as money was tight. One night, whilst clothed, Savage claims that she woke to Lagana having his hand down her pants whilst also touching himself, and after refusing his advances, was kicked out of their home with less than a week's notice. At this time, Lagana hasn't responded to these allegations by Savage, and he is by far not the last person to be called out over alleged inappropriate conduct. NXT UK's Sid Scala is alleged to have abused indie wrestler Mariah May, whilst Mikey Whiplash, not to be confused with ECW's Mikey Whipwreck, has been accused of making unwarranted sexual advances, which has been confirmed by NXT UK's Piper Niven. NXT UK superstar Ligero has also been accused of inappropriate conduct by Natalie Sykes, including demanding selfies from female wrestlers and harassing them online. Irish wrestler Debbie Keitel has also spoken about her experiences, saying that Alexander Dean used her to try and get into a promotion, and after she made it clear she wasn't interested in a relationship, he would stiff her in training, and claimed that she's not the only one who he's manipulated and abused in this way. NXT UK's Travis Banks has also faced his own accusations from Millie McKenzie, who claims that the Kiwi Buzzsaw has a secret relationship with her, which included him cheating on her multiple times when she was 17. Rebecca Crow, the ex-girlfriend of Jimmy Havoc, shared her own history of receiving abuse from the AEW star, saying that in their 3-year relationship, Havoc emotionally abused her, describing herself as his verbal punching bag and saying he'd call her a horrible person that made him want to die. In the replies to her comments, many fans tagged both AEW and Tony Khan, and we'll have to see what action, if any, the company takes regarding these allegations. Exposed Wrestling are reporting that Marty Scurll and Joey Ryan have also been accused on inappropriate conduct around 16-year-olds, whilst former over-the-top talent Russell Dempster has been accused of trying to manipulate teenage trainees into sex, an allegation that was corroborated on by a female wrestler's history with him. These are unfortunately just a handful of stories that have come out that led to the speaking out movement trending on Twitter, and British wrestling has also been trending on Twitter in the UK for the wrong reasons. In total, over 24 wrestling personalities have faced some sort of accusation, including ICW's Stephen Hughes being accused of abuse by trainee Tony Shivers, and MJ Max and Jake Long accusing James Finn of sexual assault and harassment. Longtime British wrestling ref Mark Perry was also called out by trainee wrestler Gracie Lou Freebush of sending explicit pictures to trainees, while former ring announcer Lisa Gifford also spoke out about how a headlining act forced themselves on her, and also spoke about wrestlers requesting sexual favors as well as other aggressive advances from wrestlers and fans. Callum Newman has also spoke about being groped by his genitals by promoters back when he was just 13, and said he received abuse at a wrestling school during his teenage years. Holly Barlow has accused Xander Cooper of manipulating her and Abel Stevens of harassing her, whilst James R. Kennedy and WWE superstar Tyler Bates' names have also come up in the discussion about inappropriate behavior. Wrestling writer Brandon Stroud has also been accused of stealing nude photos of female wrestlers, whilst ACW wrestler Alley Cat said that she tried to get with her and even tried to force her into playing a nude role in his movie when she wasn't interested. British wrestling veteran David Starr has also been accused of inappropriate conduct by a woman in his DMs known as Victoria, with allegations of rape, gaslighting, and manipulation, leading to Starr and We the Independent parting ways, and Starr deleting his Twitter account. Wrestler Lucy Sky has also called out Josh Bodum, claiming he would go to shows just to see her when she was 12, and even asked if he could send the teenager pictures of his genitals. With plenty of screenshots and other sources corroborating these stories, it goes to show that there is a systemic problem within the wrestling scene, though it should be noted that these remain allegations and none of us were there. These allegations of misconduct, including mental, physical, and sexual behavior against wrestlers, many of whom were underage at the time, is truly disgusting, especially when many of these alleged acts have come from someone that the victim put their trust in, such as a promoter, booker, or trainer. We here at Slat Rock applaud every single person who has come forward about this behavior, and we can only hope that something will change immediately within the wrestling scene. Back to the ring now, and fans may remember Bianca Belair debuting on Raw this past April, and while it looked like a feud with Zelina Vega was imminent, it never took place. Since then, there's been no sign of the EST on Raw, as she's been relegated to appearing on WWE Main Event, leading some to speculate whether the company have given up on her already, or if there's any backstage heat. Meltzer noted that whilst she was introduced on Raw, somebody in the creative team decided that her quote, wacky skits didn't fit in, and since she's not in any program, there's no use for her on the Red brand. Belair's fall from grace is a far cry from how she was booked on NXT under Triple H, which focused on her legitimate past as a high-caliber athlete, and it's possible that given the changes to the Red brand, namely Bruce Pritchard replacing Paul Heyman backstage, that she may be getting pushed under the new regime. With that said, there's currently no reason to believe that Belair will be booked any differently, as fans will have to wait and see what happens with the EST. Even if Belair doesn't appear next week, the upcoming Raw will be a huge show with a third title match being added to the card. WWE has confirmed that Asuka will defend her Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair, which follows on from the June 8th show that saw the Queen pin Asuka in non-title action after a distraction by Nia Jax. The week prior, Flair also got the win over the Empress via countout, again due to Jax, who ironically failed to capture the Raw Women's title at Backlash due to a double countout. Next week's Raw will also see Bayley and Sasha Banks defend their women's tag team titles against the Iconics, and the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, defend against the Viking Raiders. And with the return of Rey Mysterio also booked, there'll be plenty to see on this coming Monday's show. Speaking of the Red brand, the Raw roster is undergoing a slight change, as Dolph Ziggler has reportedly been moved to Monday nights. According to WrestleVotes, the show-off's move is part of the AJ Styles trade to SmackDown, and this report comes quickly after news of Mustafa Ali being moved to Raw as well. We'll have to see if Ziggler appears on Raw next week, and if he did, his appearance will have already been filmed this past Wednesday. From Raw to SmackDown now, as tonight's show will see the blue brand debut of Matt Riddle. According to Fightful Select, Riddle's debut will be related to AJ Styles, as it's likely that the King of Bros will be interrupting the new Intercontinental Champion, who is set to have a special championship celebration on tonight's broadcast. After working with Styles, Riddle is reportedly set to work with King Corbin, and given that Riddle's first two opponents on SmackDown will reportedly be against two of the blue brand's biggest names, it's obvious that the WWE has high hopes for the former MMA fighter turned WWE superstar. Back to Raw now, and Nia Jax has developed a reputation of being rough with her opponents, and on this week's Raw, that reputation extended to the referees. After threatening behavior to the official John Cone during this week's Raw Women's title match, WWE has announced they are looking into Nia's conduct on Raw, and whilst we don't exactly know what that means, we're sure to find out eventually. Fans will know Cone as the father of Nicholas, the youngest WWE Tag Team Champion in history, and it was a fast count by the proud papa that cost Jax the title. In the past, it's been reported that Vince McMahon wants refs to be taken more seriously and to be more strict with the rules, and this is certainly an interesting direction to take that idea. Online, Jax wasn't happy with the investigation, or Cone, calling the official a punk, but she may want to be more careful with her words, or she may never get a fair count from the official again. Of course, this is a storyline, and no real action has been taken against Jax or Cone, but given that the official says he believes he gave a fair, clean count, it'll be interesting to see where this angle goes from here.